Welcome back, our timeless listeners. This is Timeless Talk. I am your host, AJ, and across from me, as always, I have my co-host, ArmShark.
What's up, guys?
And today is a very, very special episode because we have our very first guest on the show, and this is someone who's near and dear to my heart because I grew up next to him for a big majority of my life, if not all of my life. He's a music producer. He's been doing it for several years now. I don't want to put a number on it because I lost track of. I can't really keep count of what it is. But he's my older brother. He's my blood. I love him very much. For those of you who know who he is, you already know his name. I don't got to disclose it, but he goes by JJ.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm happy to be here with my family, literally my family, my cousins,
we all have some stories,
my brother.
yes.
We're glad you're here, JJ.
It's good to be on Timeless Talks.
Thank you, man. We're happy to have you here. And we just want to give everybody a quick background about what you do for those that don't know you. The listeners that do know you obviously already know what you do, but give them a quick biography on what you are and who you do.
I'm a creative. I like to make music. I like to produce, songwrite. Also, I like to draw. I'm also a co-owner of a radio station called The Filth with my partner Jelani.
Shout out to The Filth Radio.
I'm coming out with a clothing line soon. I'm not gonna release the name just yet, but it's coming soon. I kind of have my hands in different creative ventures, so all around creative, bro. I don't like to box myself in, label myself with just one thing when I can do multiple things. But
of course,
no one wants to be in a box, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
You want to be free,
figuratively and literally. Of course, no one wants to be in that confined space. So, what inspires you every day, JJ? What gets you up every morning, gets you going into what you want to do in life? Like, what inspires you to keep pushing forward? Because I know you got a job that you hate, like most people do. But what drives you? Because then that's just temporary.
I think day to day, I get inspired by different things, bro. Like it could be randomly, like just being outside, just the vibes outside and just chilling, just get inspiration. Or it could be a song, it could be a person I met, a conversation, whatever triggers the inspiration. I'll go create. You know what I mean? Try to get the idea out, whatever that inspiration evoked.
So you don't put pressure on it. Just
just whatever. Bro. And I don't have really in mind. I don't really so I get inspired by different things. I don't really have a set when I go. Sometimes I'll have an idea and I'll create the idea, or sometimes I'll go with no expectations and just create randomly. And I think those are my best works when I do it like that, just effortless, no pressure, just having fun.
That's what most artists say, dude.
Yeah,
that's what
I don't go in mind thinking like, oh man, are people gonna like this music? Am I gonna make this certain type? I just create what I want to hear, like what I like. If it's cool to me, then I kind of put it out. Whether I get good feedback, bad feedback, I like hearing all the critiques. I don't mind. You could tell when someone's being an honest critic, or you could tell when someone's trying to attack you. You know what I mean? When they're giving you constructive criticism, it's good to listen. Depending on who's giving you the advice. Absolutely. If they're credible, because not everyone has credible advice. They don't even. Some people will try to tell you.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you got to see who you're taking. You got to see who you're talking to, because they could be like, an example. Let's say you're at the gym, and then there's gym trainers there trying to get your business. You're not gonna go to the gym trainer that looks out of shape, that just ate like in and out donuts, all this. You're gonna go to the guy that's. So if the guy that's out of shape trying to tell you how to do something, you're kind of be like, well, am I really gonna listen to your advice? Because you haven't. You haven't even applied your own advice, or maybe you have. It obviously doesn't work, so
you're not practicing.
Why would I listen to you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not practicing what you're preaching.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So
that makes sense.
Art is all subjective too.
Absolutely.
I don't think you could be wrong doing your art. It's something you created. No one else is gonna create it like you. So it's important to be individual.
I like that, and it's like it doesn't give you boundaries.
Yeah.
And you're not making it for other people. You're making it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you believe in it enough, they're gonna
like it too.
They're gonna feel it too.
When people like it, it is a treat though. When people do.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
when they see your vision, right?
It motivates you, and it kind of makes that passion burn even more.
So are you saying that, JJ, that you pretty much make art for yourself, or you make it for your audience?
I don't think I have an audience quite yet. I think I'm just making art and making music and just putting it out in the world and just doing it because it's fun for me. It's therapeutic for me too.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So
that's awesome.
And if people like it, and
there's no pressure.
if people like it, it's dope because it's like, oh man, you know what I mean? They don't have. They can pick whatever they want to like. So the fact that they like something I created, it kind of makes you feel good, and it's just like, you know what I mean? That's a part of it too. Like you get a joy seeing people enjoy something you created and you enjoyed making, and they like it just as much as
And you're seeing them vibe with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
do us a favor, JJ. Why don't you introduce the topic today on what we're going to be talking about? Being our guest and all, we'd be honored.
We're going to be talking about distorted realities.
Right.
So
Yes.
there, what I get from that right away, distorted reality. It could be someone could distort the reality by living in being delusional. In certain ways, you know what I'm saying? Not saying like what's a good example of that? Like someone that says
like a sociopath, somebody who can live different lives with different people.
That's
And
crazy.
be totally okay with that.
And it kind of ties in what we talked about last time about the masks. Different
It all
scenarios,
ties
different
in,
situations
dude.
of life. Yeah.
So it's an interesting topic. I mean, do you have any personal experiences?
I've worked with certain artists. No, I wouldn't even say distorted reality. They just might have some, their artwork needs improvement.
Are we talking about artists that we know?
No, I don't think you know them. But I won't say any names. I'm not going to put anybody on blast like that. But just certain people that think they're better than they actually are, and they feel like they can't improve, so they kind of have a distorted reality about where they're at, their level, and their skill level is really at, rather than being open to hearing critiques on that can improve.
Constructive
and that way,
feedback.
because honestly, you can never master it. You're always learning. You're always growing.
What's
That's
sad
good, that's
about
true.
That's
that?
how I look at it.
I like it,
Sad
bro.
about that, JJ, is that a lot of that is education based.
Yeah.
A lot of it's lack of knowledge.
You know what I mean? They distort the reality, thinking
Right,
that they
right.
can't improve. They're like, no, I'm the best. It's
They
good to have
they give
confidence,
themselves limitations.
but also confident people
Right?
are good
Yeah.
listeners. You know what I'm saying? Like they're also
active
they always,
listeners.
at least the greats that you all see them, they all say there's room for improvement. They always feel like they can get better, and I think because of that strive, whether they do or not, just striving for that greatness, it keeps you on point. You're always you're not gonna fall off ever, because you're always chasing that, that
hungry.
perfection. You're hungry,
Yeah,
but it's dope because
it's
it's
that driving
passionate
force, yeah.
and it doesn't burn out because it's fun.
The wolf.
Yeah,
You're hungry like the wolf.
exactly. Well,
You taste that blood in
what
the
about
meat, bro.
what do you think a situation where someone you think
Where reality's been distorted.
Yeah,
Yes,
and you're-
you got a
you're-
story. I know you do.
Well,
Go ahead, give one, man.
I know. I don't know if I talked about Special K yet, but Special K is a
Explain
very
this.
special,
to the
it's a
cereal
very
brand.
special drug.
Oh,
Okay, I know a lot
got-
of you
you got-
know
you
of those Kellogg's. Another shout out to
shout out to
Tony Tiger.
Kellogg's.
Another
You
shout
guys,
out to
you got Tony the
That's a free
Tiger and the cornflake chicken. Whatever the
That's
fuck
like
his
a
name
chicken
is.
getting fucked by the rooster.
free? Oh,
Okay.
shit.
No, you got to tell him real quick before you get into your story. The
Okay.
fact that you have with them everything out of one hole. He was talking about how they produce.
chickens fuck,
Oh
they
shit.
and they lay eggs on all the same hole.
There's
It
no
goes down like
separation?
that.
There's no
No
separation.
separation, dude.
Not like
One
the
hole,
female anatomy where they got the asshole and the vagina. There's not separated like that, right?
Dude,
From my understanding, it all
telling
comes
you,
out of
man.
the same place.
The
What does this have to
hillbillies.
do with the story?
Listen, bro, it's distorted.
He's getting there.
Your reality is distorted. You're fucking goats and chickens, right, dude? No, I'm telling you, these people existed, bro. Like back in 1800s, that motherfucker raped my chickens again, and they get their fucking 12 gauge out. No, back in the Walton days, dude. Seriously.
Do you think it was the lack of education? That's why they did shit like that?
Hell yeah. Dude, they don't know that fucking an animal is wrong. They learned from their hillbilly dad.
But I don't know how you don't know that's
Dude,
wrong.
if your dad is fucking
Because
goats,
think about it, how you're
you're
taught.
gonna be a
I get what
fucking
you're
No,
saying.
he's right. How are you taught to think that's wrong? You think
Yeah.
it's okay.
If
You
you're
were brought up
raised-
that
I get
way.
what you're saying.
Well,
Yeah, you were
You
taught
find it to
to
be
think
normal
that's
'cause you
okay.
were
well,
raised-
son, sometimes the missus won't put out. I gotta do what I gotta do, son. Daddy, what you doing behind the bar, Daddy? Well, son, I'll tell you what, boy. Sometimes I gotta fuck goats. Okay,
Wait,
all right,
no,
let's
no,
move
no,
on,
understand.
dude.
Let's
Okay,
get back to the story.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
look,
get back to the special
Let's
case. That's the point.
Let's
It's too
back. I don't
much.
know where JJ wants to go with this,
right.
but we're not down to talk about this no more, bro.
No, no, let's just
All
go
right.
back to the
No,
topic.
just
Special
fucking
K,
around.
you brought that
Just
up as an example
fine.
for distorted reality. Go ahead and go with that.
All right, yeah.
Your
So,
story, go ahead.
anyways, I had this opportunity to do 2 fat lines of Special K, which I don't know if you guys know what this is, but it's
No.
like a horse tranquilizer. Okay,
Oh, fuck.
like if you know a veterinarian,
Oh,
they
shit.
get this shit, bro, and everyone talks about it, and it takes you to a different dimension. Okay,
Oh,
like, I'm
shit.
not kidding. It's like
good
shrooms
stuff.
and acid put together into this little ball, but it's like only the positive parts of it, and it's
fuck.
like, and it gets to a point where you're just like, oh, I want to go back in. You know, like it's.
So what
anyways-
was your experience?
I was in Florida to, I don't know, do some other job or something. No, I'm kidding. It was a really serious career move that I was doing, and I took it very serious. But, some things didn't work out. That's life. I can talk about that's another story about my adventure in Florida and how I almost got in a fight with this Jamaican dude. But,
It's okay, go ahead.
no,
yeah.
but anyways, this was Coral Springs, I think. It's like a suburban town, 40 minutes from Miami. My gosh. It's like, everyone's down. Come on, dude. Anyways, dude. All right, so listen. I had an opportunity to do a couple lines Special K. I mean, I basically I was at Satan's house. Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. So this guy is a really good friend of mine. It's an ongoing joke that we used to have that he was Satan or whatever, and it's just a joke. Anyways, so he just had a really good opportunity for me, so I traveled down there, and we say that it's because he always had access to all the best drugs. Yeah. So anyways, you snort them and you go under, and I walked into his living room, which, mind you, has like little Mayan statues, like little memorabilia.
Here we go.
Like little ancient like spears and stuff. And all of a sudden I transformed into this like Indiana Jones cave, dude. My entire reality was distorted.
Yeah.
It was completely distorted. I was in another dimension. Okay, I was in this cave, dude, this ancient Indiana Jones cave with like elephant skulls on the wall, goat skulls, like fire torches. Like, this was real, bro. Like, and then I was there, and I was like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, Tool's playing. And I know a lot of you cats out there don't know Tool, but Tool is literally a Tool. Tool's a badass band, dude. But just listen to him, bro. You'll hear songs where you're just like, what? That's Tool? Yeah, dude. They make music, man. Like real orchestras, like real 15-minute shit. Not like, Yeah. But anyways, it's a tool. When you're under, the music actually takes you to another place. And what's interesting is when you go under, every person has a different purpose in this world. And when you're around people, you learn that purpose of what they have. So this guy is like a gatekeeper to this dude's house I was staying at. He's like a gatekeeper to this place that he fucking let me go. And he knows I'm an adventurer, where I'm just cross no bounds. So I went in this cave, dude. And then the whole time I was staying at this place, I had this Kenjo staff that I was practicing. And he was like, don't play with that in the house. Like, I don't want you breaking something, right? Because it's like expensive shit. We're talking like millionaire, right? It's like nice shit in his house. It's a modest house. It's not like a mansion, but still, you got a boat, motorcycles, nice shit in your living room. One person living in a 5-bedroom. You're just like you're balling at that point, right?
Of course, yeah.
Dude, that's pimp. Yeah. So I went in the backyard to fucking practice. Well, anyways, not that night, dude. The whole time he was on a beanbag, laying down, just you hear him like giggling, like he's like letting me into this world, and I had the stick, and he didn't say anything. He couldn't do anything really. And I'm just walking. I walked by him holding this stick, and I'm walking by him, and I'm like, ugh. I start spinning it, and as I'm spinning it, I'm twirling it. I'm going faster and faster, and mind you, I'm like inches away from this glass shit. All of a sudden, entire reality just starts to fold over and morph, and it spins away in a circle, and then I'm draped in a big giant like blanket robe on top of a mountain, dude, on top of a peak of a giant mountain, and wind just hits me like nothing, and I had to take my Kenjo staff and stab the side of the peak. Dude, I fucking swear, I had to take my Kenjo staff, stab the side of the peak to keep myself from falling off of this mountain. And I was like,
you bitch like us. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
It is crazy as fuck.
Please interject. I'm talking.
Where the fuck were you at? Were you on an actual cliff?
I was on the peak of a mountain, bro.
What the fuck?
Right, but you took this right when you went into the house, right? Like that's when you took it,
yeah.
And then it just hit you in the house.
Yeah.
So you were just
somewhere.
I was in the house. I was in the living room, bro.
So
I walked in the living room. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the hallway was the entrance to this cave, and the living room was the cave.
Okay, so let me ask you.
And he had a cat, dude, that was nowhere to be found. That thing was fucking scared. He told me after that happened that the cat was hiding in the bathtub, dude.
So let me ask. Oh my god, because you probably scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah, the cat probably felt your vibe that you were on some shit.
Right. What's your question?
Not only that, my question. My only question was, when you were hanging off the side of this cliff, were you on the fucking roof at this point, or were you actually in any danger? Were you really hanging over something?
No, I wasn't in really real danger. But that's the distortion of reality, because I really believed I was, and it really felt like I was.
It felt like it for real.
So if I did fall and I didn't catch myself, would I have really fallen off the cliff? I would have.
Yeah.
But everyone around me would have seen me just laying on the ground.
Yeah.
But I would have been falling off the cliff.
You would have really feeling that shit.
Check this out, bro. So what if, like, Revelations, right? All that shit really goes down for everybody when they die. So when, like, let's say if a freak accident happens and someone, God forbid, comes in here, and dies, shoots one of us, and we die, like...
Are you saying what if we interpret it differently than...
That person, instead of dying, all this stuff starts to go down, like Revelations, like these locusts start flying in with scorpion stingers. You know what I mean? You're just like, whoa! But everyone else,
see it, like, what
everyone
the
else
fuck?
in the room is like, oh fuck, oh shit, he got shot. He's dead, yo. The ambulance is here. It's a big murder scene. But to that person that died, he's experiencing revelations. Mic drop.
Okay, I see what you're moving.
I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
It makes you think, right?
What if they? Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. So what if
Yeah.
they? What if when their body fills with DMT? What I understood from that. What if that's what they experienced? Because the body does get flooded with DMT right at the moment of death. If you research that, listeners, if y'all didn't know that, I'm about to drop a brick of knowledge on you guys. And
That's
notice.
scary, man.
Think about it, bro. You didn't know that? Look it up. The brain releases DMT, bro, and it floods the body at the moment of death. Real shit. So what I understood from that is that you're telling me my body goes on a natural fucking psychedelic as I'm about to die? It's crazy because it's true.
It is crazy.
So what if that release of DMT leads to what you're saying? What if that's what they see when they're about to die? To the rest of the world, they don't see the rapture. But you're saying, what if they see the rapture during that experience, right?
Like
And
you're
your
born.
body naturally produces it, right? It does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably so. I mean,
Well, that's what I've heard. The pineal gland produces DMT.
interesting.
So that's where it gets released, it floods the body from there. But
Yeah, I'm not interested. I'm not past all those days of that.
no, I'm just saying it might be the reason why you might experience revelation in that moment. I'm saying just it might connect into. Again, guys, this is a theory. I'm not saying
And a
this is
little
what
off the
happens.
topic too. I like to delve more in about the term rapture that AJ used a little earlier, because I challenge you to respond with a chapter and verse where in the Bible is actually used the term rapture. You can show me a bunch of verses that support this.
Yeah, we're
theory.
we're going to talk about that.
That's a
but
whole different. That's a
it's a whole different podcast
Right.
episode right there. We're talking about distortion of
So
reality.
what happened with the story? What you didn't finish?
Go ahead and
it?
finish it. Sorry, I kind of
So you were
stopped you
walking through. You were in that realm or whatever the hell you were at.
there. Yeah, we left you off at the mountain. You were hanging
you
off
were
the
in
mountain.
So how did you get down from?
Yeah, how'd you get that?
mountain?
Walk us through the rest of
yeah,
it.
it just I
Did
finally
your trip just end there? And you're like, I'm on the floor.
pretty much, dude.
It's like, oh shit, I'm on the floor. I'm
what,
good.
was
I'm
really
not dying anymore.
was very trippy.
What the
Was-
fuck? That's crazy.
That
Just
is
instantly
crazy.
stop.
Just came back into reality. You're hanging off the side of a cliff. Like, I'm in danger in it. You snap out of it. You're on the floor. You're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't on the floor. I was still standing there. And I was
Oh,
still
so you
holding
weren't laying down. You were
No,
still.
no, I was
thought you were
standing
hanging
there.
out for life.
And, honestly, I don't really remember from how I got from there into the kitchen. But what I do remember, which is the really trippiest part of the story, is that I was standing by the sink, and I was maybe 2 feet away from the sink to the right, and the hole, the sink has a hole,
Yeah.
the garbage disposal hole.
Yeah.
And I looked at my friend, and he looked at me as if he experienced everything I just did, right?
Yeah.
Like he was watching it. And then I just threw up, and the vomit went like a tube, and it flowed like an S shape into the hole perfectly.
What the fuck?
And I went, and he was like, what?
Wait, so you're telling me
And
you seen the same
it.
shit?
He saw the same
What
thing.
the fuck?
And that's the trippiest thing.
Was this he made an appearance
Yes,
last
dude.
episode? Was this fucking King Arthur?
No,
What is
this?
this?
is not King Arthur, dude.
No,
This
no,
is
no, I know this is you.
Satan, dude.
I know it's Satan. I'm just saying.
What?
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying that did he witness this shit too, or are you telling me Satan was there witnessing this?
Satan saw it, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe it's a bad
For some
nickname
reason,
for him. I don't
no,
know.
for some reason that's the guy's that's the guy's nickname, not the
Yeah,
actual
we
Satan.
we're not
Oh.
using
JJ, it's just somebody else. There was an actual Satan there.
No, but
But
JJ, how do you feel about this? I want to hear your comments.
yeah, seriously, go ahead and say what you think of that first.
That's a trippy ass story, bro.
Way off from your vision of distortion of reality, I'm sure, right? I mean,
It was distorted for sure.
of course. But I think
But he's saying also maybe it wasn't distorted. He felt like he was in another dimension.
and it kind of leads to what we talked about.
But your
episode one.
physical wasn't there though. Does that make sense?
Your spirit was what you were.
Dude,
You said
I
that
was
you were-
there. Like,
you were
okay, like when I
Well,
mentioned
if
that
he
you can
was
still
there,
kind
then
of
he was
control
there. I
it.
don't know.
When I mentioned you can still
never-
kind of control it, like when it's happening to you, you believe it's real. Like
Yeah.
because you forgot the fact that you're under. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't. If
Do
you
think
played, have you played
feel like-
Assassin's
do
Creed?
you think that you're really
bit,
experiencing
yeah.
it?
If you played Assassin's Creed, it's like that almost.
You feel like you're really experiencing it. Like you're actually there, right? And this is
Yes, like it's real.
It's not a trip.
You can't help but wonder.
You're not on a trip. This is really happening.
It's really happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then once it's done, you realize what just happened.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
Of course.
Like it's like that kind of. It's all about how you react afterwards. So that's what's the fascinating part.
No, it is. And that's why I wanted to chime in what I was going to say, where I compare the two whole distorted realities, situation. I feel like it happens to sober-minded people and also people that also try drugs and do drugs, and they distort the realities in separate ways. Now, an example, we talked about this off of the record before. An example of someone that's sober, distorting the reality, and I've talked about this with JJ before in the past too, is where someone will be so inclined and locked into their way of life that when something comes and compromises it, they'll notice it, but they'll refuse to believe it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, oh no, that can't be real. That's shakes what I believe.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to accept that might be real.
And that's a
Fuck
distortion.
That.
That's a distortion of what's really happening.
Is it not? Because you're choosing to ignorantly be like, even though that might be real, fuck that. I don't want to believe that. That scares me. The fact that might be real scares me. You guys see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
That's where a sober-minded person, I feel, they believe that, right? They actually do. They're like, oh, they see that. Fuck that. I don't want that to shake up what I already see and believe in my life. No.
Right.
And that's how they distort it. And it's completely different.
I'm kind of interested, though, AJ, why you keep referring to as a sober-minded person. Because I feel like even people who are intoxicated are like that.
Maybe they are.
You know, so I don't think you can really
I guess
draw
what
that
you're trying to say
difference
is,
between sobriety.
Well, no, I see what you're saying there, but all I'm strictly saying is that I feel like it's someone that doesn't take anything. You know what I'm saying? Someone that just lives off of water and food, doesn't take any type of psychedelic or, you get what I'm saying?
Those are the most open. Those are the most people that are most in tune with life and nature, dude, because they have the less chemicals and toxins. Like, listen, bro,
That's what I'm saying.
drugs is a gateway to fucking a Buddhist monk that's been meditating for 80 years.
No, that's
you
what
know
I'm saying.
Like, they're there and they see you there, and they're just like, you cheated, right?
Like, I got here without substances.
I had to get this understanding by doing all this sacrifice.
So your argument is that they got there by taking, they got a shortcut essentially by taking.
Essentially, yeah. Like if you're gonna do a hallucinogenic, you're technically taking like a Buddhist monk shortcut. You know, I mean, how else you can go? You can go into polar ice, fucking naked on shrooms, and you won't die because you're on fucking shrooms. You can drink, dude. You can go to a bar. Okay, that's right.
We're talking about cheat life in a way because your mind is so convinced that you can survive in that element. You will.
I think
it's weird, dude. It's almost as powerful as your brain is. You will survive that.
You're right, dude. Because
it's so mind.
You're so your brain over your matter.
Yes, I think I'm gonna cut you off, but it's like hold that thought. But I think it's because you're so concentrated on how you feel, you believe it. Does that make sense? Your mind is so powerful. Like, I can do this.
The bitches feel
that when you're sober, yeah,
dude.
And now when you're sober, like, you're so focused on the code, it kills you.
Because you're like an animal.
Kills you. Oh, hypothermia. I'm gonna die from this.
You
die. You actually die from it. You're accepting it, right? Go ahead. Sorry. That's what
I'm talking over you. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
We're on a podcast. Cut that out.
Shut the fuck up and go. Yes, go ahead.
So you're saying
what you were saying? Yeah, you were saying I cut you off.
No. I was waiting for JJ.
You think those drugs boost up your mind to you think they help you in a way? That's like, you know, or would you think it's more like trippy, or what would you say it's like?
That's a good question, JJ. Like,
do you think it boosts your mind up, or does it destroy like they tell you?
I think
intelligence. He's saying that do you benefit
from
it?
Let me tell you this. You know, Amsterdam's been legal for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. I'm talking about shrooms.
Yes.
Okay. Japan as well, legal. Right. You know, it's been studied for medicinal purposes. A lot of the active ingredients in shrooms is used in modern day medication. You know, it's natural. People don't know this, but you can micro-dose in shrooms to cure lots of things, like, you know, lots of different things. Neurologist-wise, like, it's good for a lot of different. I know it sounds crazy, but
it's in the brain.
Yeah, so there's that. But at the same time, yeah, I think it's individual based. I think one can use it to ruin their life. Absolutely. One can use it to help their life. You know, I guess it just depends on that individual how they use it. Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Have you ever had a bad trip on shrooms or anything like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the majority of my trips have been negative.
Go ahead and tell a story. Go ahead and tell. This seems like a time for an ArmShark story right about now. Huh?
Okay, so
go ahead and plug one in, sir.
Yeah, JJ, I'm glad you brought that up, bro. Because a story that comes to mind is actually this really trippy story, bro. Okay, so I mentioned, I know in a few episodes before, I was dating this chick that was from an island, you know, off of India. Yeah. And anyhow, so there's already a lot of voodoo shit going on in the Cuban culture. Okay.
There is.
And there really is. So then we get the voodoo shit going on in Fiji Island, right? So we already have those energies going on, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention this chick I'm about to go hang out with, do shrooms with my girlfriend, at the time, I've hooked up with this chick, but I've never told my girlfriend, right? So when you shroom, all this shit comes out non-verbally. Just by the presence of the other person, you can tell if someone has lied to you, has cheated on you, has screwed you over. You can tell by looking them dead in the eye, and they know that you know. I'm talking about telepathy on a new level, dude. That's why you gain this level of communication where you can start reading people on different levels. That's why when you go to Europe, people are on a higher social level because a lot of people have experimental. All the other kids is like normal for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's all around them. Oh, go to Amsterdam, right? America doesn't have anything like that. They've kept that away for a reason. Because we need a strong military, dude. We can't have fucking youth growing up with this shit. Because then they know too much and they know it's wrong. We don't want that, right?
No, you don't want it.
You know, that's a fucking threat.
It's like they don't want you to have a higher consciousness, bro.
Right, it's like a higher consciousness almost. But again, I'm not promoting the drug at all.
No.
I'm just fucking saying.
The
Dude.
situation,
You're just stating, yeah.
Right.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, so
think it's
anyways.
higher consciousness either, but
So I'm like,
that's what it sounds like. That you're breaking it down.
yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, you're good. That's what you guys up.
No, yeah, dude. So, anyways, man. So we decided let's take a trip to Ventura Beach on fucking mushrooms, right? And so yeah, let's fucking eat them here in Santa Clarita. Then we'll start driving down to 126 on fucking shrooms.
Fuck.
And when we get there, it'll be badass, right?
That was,
Well,
that
of
was
course, the girl that
inspiration.
I've hooked up with before, she like really wanted me, right? She was kind of possessive. And I only hooked up with her once, and it was a mistake. And I was like, okay, you know, we're not meant for each other.
Yeah.
So, anyways, she shows up with her new boyfriend, who's this dude that you know has like tattoos on his neck, like 18th Street, like thug full, right? Like wearing a fucking jersey and like baggy pants. This is the 90s, bro.
Totally.
Like, right. But he looks like a white dude, but he's not, right?
Yeah.
Like that dude, like who has like a scar in his face, like he's not afraid to get down, like right? Like just so that's what she comes with, right? So we're all on shrooms, dude. You know, so I think he can tell that I've hooked up with her. You know, like there's that vibe there, where you know, and then I think my girl at the time, she can tell.
Yeah.
You know, everything was getting awkward. But anyways, we ate them, you know, and we started driving to Ventura. And on the way there, man,
You stopped at the shack.
we stopped at this little tiny shack off the 126 freeway.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was creepy, dude. It was sketchy. This chick's sketchy. This whole situation
The
was
vibe
just
was fucked.
sketch, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So I'm there. We're walking to this house. She's like, oh, I got to get something from here first. I got to go do something, whatever. So we're like, what's going on? I thought we were going to the beach. Let's just go to the beach.
What the fuck is going on? Yeah.
You know, and then I really start to feel the shrooms kick in when I walk into this house. And I got the creepiest vibe from this painting of Jesus on the wall. And it was like the traditional...
White guy with long hair.
Right. Like curly.
It's
The
there right
fact
now.
is that
Let's
I'm
go
in
to
this
the guy.
dimension,
Uh-huh.
and I'm on this drug, and I'm getting these weird vibes from this fucking painting.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my girl, I'm like, what are we doing in here? I got this cholo dude dogging me, and you know, I just the whole situation's awkward. But anyways, this is where it gets even worse, man. So this whole time I'm thinking that, hey, so you know, they have hanging over my head that you know I've hooked up with his girl, and my girl doesn't know it, and we all can understand that because that's how shrooms is. Like
Oh,
we can
shit.
all communicate that way without talking.
Without even saying anything.
Right. Yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
what you're thinking is as plain as day as the color of your shirt. It's like everything is just out in the open. So, ArmShark being ArmShark, I try to combat the situation by basically just straight up telling my girl, oh, by the way, I fucked insert name. Right?
Oh, no.
And then everyone's just like fucking shocked, like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, now we don't have to have weird tension, right?
Oh my
And-
god!
yeah, dude.
You did that shit.
Oh, in front of everyone, you did
Yeah,
that.
dude.
That's-
No, but no, I was tactful. I waited for boyfriend to go by the ocean and play with the water.
Okay,
He's
so
like,
he was a little more.
he was like rolling
That's
hard.
still pretty bad.
And he was
but
the only
yeah.
person enjoying it because he was the only person that didn't have any issues of any of us.
Yeah.
He didn't know us, but all three of us had issues. She didn't like that
So you
girl.
guys didn't even
That
enjoy
girl
the
didn't
trip?
like her.
Oh, fuck.
I had a secret where I hooked up with her. The whole thing was awkward, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna lay it down flat. My girl actually respected me for that later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so anyways,
Attention.
so that actually really okay. Let me mind you, this chick's a Wiccan.
Oh, no.
So she studies magic,
Oh fuck.
and supposedly
Here we
she's a
go.
good witch,
Oh shit.
but we don't really know, do we?
this bitch is evil.
Oh,
you can't trust a
shit.
Wiccan, bro. If a girl tells you she's a Wiccan, you have to understand
Get the fuck away
the
from
laws of polarities. good resides on evil. It's the same pole. So, you know.
So
Polarity.
pretty much get away from her.
Yeah.
Right, you may want to keep your distance unless you want to play with fire. But, no, anyways. What's interesting is that she got pissed. So she somehow summoned him back to the quarters. He came back to the blanket. And somehow she came up with this great idea that, you know, Ventura has those rocks that just go out to the ocean.
Yeah.
And they almost look like piers, but they're just rocks.
Yeah.
And you always go, man, I want to climb down
Yeah,
there.
yeah. What you talking about?
We
They-
did
like,
it
it's in that-
at night. It was like 1 in the morning in Ventura.
Oh fuck.
And that kid, that kid, he was like, let's go climb there. I was like, all right. And then we get over there, right? You know, it looks so close when you're sitting there, but once you get down there, you're far away, right? Like, oh damn,
Once
where's
you
our
get out
girl?
there,
I was like,
no, yeah.
you know, we get on the rocks, and he's like, oh, I'll race you to the end. So I was like, all right. So we start racing, dude, and this is like when like my animal instincts come into play. Like he was beating me because I wasn't really trying, and then he just starts getting more competitive and looking at me like it's serious, like his balls are on the line. Like he was looking at me like his manlyhood's on the line. Like he better beat me. That's how he was looking at me, dude. It was really creepy.
It's almost
was
like
like
he knew about the
He was
shit that
willing
was-
to die for it, and I was like, you know what? I just started fucking. I go, you're taking it this serious? I'm gonna beat you, right? So I start going like an animal, dude, with all fours. I'm like, "Whew," on the rocks. I swear, like nothing. I was like, he looked at me like this. What? I remember. I was like this. I came from the back. I just. Anyways, I got to the second to last rock. Right when I got there, and I stood there and I waited for him. He finally caught up, and then he looks at me and he's panting. He's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude." And he's like, he looks at me and he couldn't handle it. So he jumps another rock ahead of me. And then I'm looking at him. And then he's like, "Here, come here." And he puts his hand out for me. And I looked at him and I just smiled and nodded my head, no. And I ran
That's
back,
almost
dude.
like he's admitting defeat. That's pretty much what he's doing, right?
Dude, he wanted to pull me in and
Yeah.
fucking kill me, dude.
Oh, shit.
That motherfucker.
No,
That's
I
what
know.
he wanted, dude. He
No, you
wanted
can
my
see
life.
that coming. See, but that's how.
I wouldn't have died, though.
But that was his selling point. I'm gonna pull you in. Oh, bro, good luck.
Right,
You told
right.
you beat me. Fuck that. He's gonna pull
Right.
you in to really.
No, but actually, thinking back, what it really was is that we were there for a while when we got there, talking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what it was is he kept going further on the rocks, and he was like, "There's enough room for you, man. Come here." And I was like, "No, it's cool." And he's like, "No, come here. I'll help you. Come here." I was like, "No, bro, it's cool. I'm gonna get back now."
Too, yeah, like,
And then when we got back, you know, and I was the first one to get back, and you know what that Wiccan says, her first hand in mind? Who won? She knew. She staged the whole competition. Like, when I got there, I didn't know I was going to race him.
Yeah.
I just thought I was going to go to the pier, and, let me go hang out with your boyfriend, let's climb the
That's
rocks
fucking
while you
twisted,
bond with my
dude.
girlfriend. That's what I thought.
that is so
But the whole
fucking
thing was
twisted.
set up.
Yeah.
You don't know people's intentions, bro. So when you do this shit
No,
for other
that's
people,
crazy.
so that's why it was a negative trip, bro.
Oh,
Because when I got back, I realized
That's why
that she
it's
staged
negative,
this to
yeah.
kill me, and I didn't know what she was gonna do with my girl at
What
that
the
point. Because they
fuck?
drove us there. They stopped at this weird, shady fucking house, did some weird shit, and I heard like plastic moving around and shit like that. And then we went to Ventura, and this whole thing was staged for him to kill me because that guy's killed before. I can tell, dude. And that
You
was
just carried that vibe.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's some fucking scary shit.
That's a trip.
Talk about it.
Right.
What about a good story? Since that was a negative one.
Well, we don't want to be rude, JJ. We want to hear directly
Yeah.
from you what you
Yeah,
think
man.
about this situation. You know,
I think that's crazy, bro. I think that's true because there's been situations where I wasn't on shrooms or nothing like that, but I can, even like just being sober without, I feel like I could feel people's like vibe, energy, whatever you want to call it.
Give us an example of one of those scenarios.
I don't know. It's like there's been times where I've been in studio sessions, or like everyone was like high in there or whatever they were on, and I felt like we were the only sober ones. But because of that, we stood out. They felt our good versus the darkness. It was almost like it felt like it was dark and good in the same room, and it was conflicting because they can't exist together. Like the light always takes out the
They
darkness.
can't coexist.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
They can't coexist.
So you
No,
feel
not they can't.
Well, they can, but I know
Yeah,
what you're saying. One
one,
can't overpower
so
the
like
other.
we were there, nothing happened. But if I felt the tension, they definitely felt the tension.
Yeah,
And
right.
I was
Most
sober.
definitely.
They're all on, and maybe that's what it was. They were uncomfortable because they knew I wasn't on that level of whatever they were taking, like lean or whatever the drug it was that they were under. the music sounded weird, bro. It was just a weird vibe in there. Like I was like, this isn't a good vibe. Like it's almost like
I think I was present with you that time.
Yeah, one of the times. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, no. There was a time where I could co-sign to this story because I was actually there with them. I'm not gonna say any names, but there was this time where we were present in a studio together, and just it felt off. Me and JJ were there, and I was actually experiencing what he does, on a normal day basis.
Oh no, bro, it's just one story. I've been to parties like that too, where I'll just walk in, and it's just that's why I don't really go. I'm too old for a house party anyways, unless I know the person. Like, it's a cool little get together. But usually I don't go to this shit.
Yeah, we're not gonna go into detail what happened.
I don't really be going out like that, but usually when I used to go out like that, like house parties are real. Like you could feel a lot of different vibes in there. You can feel when people are hating. You can feel
totally.
You can feel when people are there to have fun. You can just feel a bunch of different
Yeah.
vibes all in one small place.
Right.
It's bound to like shit, and usually bad shit happens there. Not all the time, but usually you got to listen to that feeling. I think, like if you don't listen, usually every time that I did
But
listen
you know what's
to
funny?
the feelings,
a lot of people's
whenever I
reality-
went against the grain, bad shit would happen. So it's
True.
like if I were to listen to that feeling or whatever you want to call it, you know when to get out of there, like wherever you're at. Like if you're out, let's say
You're talking about a situational.
like in the situation, like it's just weird. You could feel it, and then, but this is off subject from distorted realities. But that I'm just adding on to your story, like how you felt that being on shrooms. I feel like you could feel that even being sober.
I see the relation.
Totally.
It
No, I
might,
see the
but
relation.
also the shroom thing might intensify the feeling.
Right.
It might make you more.
You see the
because-
relation, right?
I don't know because I never
You
done
see the
it.
relation, right?
I'm
He
just
was-
thinking a
he
guess.
sensed
I'm not
he
saying
sensed
right.
top five.
That's
You know?
exactly right, JJ. No, everything you're saying is true. Because of that intensification, do you think that makes you more aware
Yeah.
of that when you're sober after the fact that you've tried that?
What? Oh, I never tried any shrooms. I'm saying like in your situation, it intensified it. Like you knew that whole shit was a setup. You figured it out.
Meaning,
Right,
like, he
right.
figured out that it was a setup, the situation he was in, but he was sober minded. But he feels like when you were under the influence of that,
They were low key trying to
you
distort.
were already aware. But
They
it
were
just
kind of. If
intensified
you think
it.
about it,
You know,
their
you were more
influence. They were
heightened.
trying to distort your reality of
Yeah.
what was going on.
Right.
Think about it.
They
Yeah,
wanted you to look like.
Why
you
not?
they
were
were trying
really-
to deceive you.
Yeah,
really.
deceive you. But
And
then
set
the way
you
that's distorting. You know what I mean? If you think about it, because he's thinking, oh, we're here to have fun, but in reality, there's a whole plot and twist behind it.
being
Right.
placed against you.
But what's crazy is with that's all paranoia. And none of that
Yeah.
went down. What if it was all
Fuck
fun
on your
nature?
head. Some fuck shit
Yeah,
in your head,
dude.
like you were just thinking of it.
Yeah, and they're just
That's a
like,
possibility.
That was a fun night.
Yeah,
You know, like,
they
I
see
don't
that
know,
way.
bro. But if you
You're
felt,
right, it's a
if you felt,
possibility.
if you felt them weird, then
Yeah.
maybe they were.
Exactly.
You
Those
should
vibes are
trust
real,
your
right?
gut. You
Those
should trust
vibes
your
are
gut.
real, dude.
Absolutely, you should trust your gut on
You
that.
should.
Because those are real vibes.
Yeah.
You don't. Let's be honest. When I go with my friends and I feel uncomfortable, I don't think they're trying to kill me. You know what I'm saying? If you really
Right,
felt
right,
it,
yeah,
you get what I'm
thank
saying?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
not
don't think they're
normal.
gonna try to fucking kill you.
It's
So
not normal.
yeah, you felt that for
You
a
don't
reason.
kill your friends, guys.
Well, those are not your friends.
Exactly. That's what
You're
you guys know.
going to go to wayside.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
No, exactly. It doesn't go down that way.
Yeah.
So if you're really feeling that in that scenario, especially, you should trust your gut because
Right.
fuck, dude. Like, what if this is really what they're
Right.
plotting against me? You can't
Yeah.
just write that
What's
off.
scary though is I didn't realize that until the plot failed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Whoa,
So-
that's a trip. Well, because
Yeah.
you know what? You had a chance to sit down and actually really
Right.
take it in for what it was, right? You're like,
That's trippy.
fuck, dude. Maybe
Yeah,
these people really trying to fucking kill
God
me.
stepped in, bro.
Absolutely. That's
You
what
know?
it was. Yeah.
That's what it was, dude.
Of course, he made you realize you're not gonna say, "Oh, the drug made me realize." No, dude.
You know,
There's going
it's
on
kind of interesting, JJ. I don't
There's
know.
a higher
you
power
seem, you
going
seem
on.
excited when we kind of talked about the false image of the Son of Man. I just heard that term on a Immortal Technique song, which I respect Immortal Technique a lot. He has a lot of cool lyrics, and you know, I've always had a weird feeling about the image of Christ, and when I heard that song, it really made me look into it more. And when I looked into it more, I started seeing all the different realities behind the false image of the Christ. You know, in fact, why don't we invite you on to a future episode where we can really just dabber deep into that subject? I mean, what do you think about that?
That'd be interesting to talk about because I know I don't think all the pictures that you see is really what he looked like. You know what I mean? But you know, we could debate about that, or it's not really up for debate. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like what he looked like.
I heard Picasso was gay, and that he was
Still like-
fucking
But-
this dude
So you gotta hear
Caesar.
this.
Oh, man.
Hear this,
He
okay,
was
Jake.
fucking this dude Caesar, And he painted Caesar, bro, and then that's the image they used.
So the theory there is that he
and that's what made him famous. They said
he painted Jesus looking that way, supposedly, because that's what.
Because I don't think Jesus was all like how they show him, all real skinny.
right.
He was a carpenter, bro.
Lanky,
he's
like,
probably big.
fucking white skin, long hair.
To do that type of work, you can't be frail. You have to be like.
Gandhi was bald.
built.
Gandhi was bald.
Yeah.
Buddha was bald. 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, it talks about, women have coverings, and their coverings their hair, and like men don't need coverings because they're closer to God. So why would the Son of Man, who's the closest to God, decide to have a covering or long hair? Wouldn't he just be bald then, like all the other holy people that we know of or prophets? I mean, this is history, dude. That's what made me start thinking, where I'm like, that makes me think a little bit. Like, what is this European image that I'm being forced to like look at? Is it Project Venus, or what's Project Blu-ray? Is that what it's called?
No.
For all your conspiracy
Blue
theories?
Beam.
Blue Beam.
Project Blue Beam.
Tell us, AJ, about Project Blue Beam.
Okay, we're not going to get into this right now because that's a whole other
Right.
topic again.
Yeah.
But Project Blue Beam, just to give you a short version of it within 30, 40 seconds here, it's a project that's supposed to mimic the rapture, the second coming of Christ. It's supposed to project him into the sky and make him visible to everybody.
Not supposed to. The technology is there. They can holographically display images
just
in your room if they want to.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing that the Bible warns about too, is that it says that if a person runs into the house and warns you or says, "Come and see,"
they do warn you that
the Savior is outside. The Savior is here. If you have to leave where you're at to go see the Savior, then that's not the Savior, because he's supposed to be illuminated to everybody.
Right.
The Bible describes it as that you will be able to see him wherever you are. Meaning, if he's in the sky, you'll be able to look up and through your ceiling, you'll be able to see him. That's how you'll know that's him. If you have to leave where you're at to go see this person they're calling the Savior, then that's not the Savior. That's how the Bible.
That's what I mean by systematic programming.
That's how the Bible
different terms,
interpreted it. Yeah.
like Trinity and rapture. These are terms that systematic church programming that's not in the Bible.
And I'm gonna have to stop you there because
Right.
I see you're getting on a tangent and I see you're going with it, but we're gonna do that because
we're out of time. We're gonna have to invite JJ back to talk about this.
And we'll delve into stuff a little later.
Into the Bible.
No, of course. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna save this last few minutes for the plugs. First thing I want to do is I want to give JJ the floor to go ahead and plug in whatever he's got going on in his life right now. Besides, being
you
a
can
guest
follow
of
me
ours.
on Instagram, JJMusic89. I'll be posting like cool little stuff with my music and different things, different creative things of that nature. Or you could check us out, Filth Radio. Search it. It's on all streaming platforms. We're working on getting everything up right now. We have it on a few platforms, but it should be up on everything soon.
And that's Spotify,
Spotify,
Apple Music,
Tidal. We're on Spotify, Tidal.
Drop those names, man. They're not paying you, but who gives a fuck? They gotta know which platforms.
All the streaming platforms, SoundCloud.
You know what's
whatever
popular,
you want.
whatever you like, right?
Crazy House Entertainment.
Yeah, there's a few. There's Crazy House. Shout out to Crazy House. I'm part of that team.
That collective. Well, by the way, I forgot to mention you guys. He's actually one of the producers that's on that team, and we had the blessing of having him on the show and eventually have everybody else.
We thank you for your time.
I appreciate you guys having me. It's fun.
Of course, we appreciate having you
Crazy
here.
stories about distorted realities and vibes and just good talk.
It was great talking. It was a good time. So yeah, I want to take this opportunity to remind you guys that so you need to pay attention to this fall. Timeless Empire is going to have its first release coming this fall. We're going for the fall. That's going to be the deadline. You guys are going to have some new dope shit coming out from Timeless Empire, so keep your heads up and your eyes peeled for that. I want to give another shout out again to Crazy House Creative Collective.
Yeah.
That's all of us in here. You know what I'm saying? We're all a part of it, and for the voices and the vibes that are not here for it, shout out to those guys. They know who they are. And just so you guys know, we are now on YouTube and SoundCloud, and we're actually about to get on iTunes soon. So all you guys out there, all you listeners out there with Apple Music, we're going to be there for your ears as well. So God bless you guys. Talk to you again next week.
You can do this on your own time, man. Get me fucking
Yo, we out of here. Check it out. Timeless Talks.
All right, guys.